Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Join me and the boy down there somewhere on our morning dog walk. Look at it, absolutely beautiful day here in North Wales today. Bit of a rarity lately, it's been disgusting. But when it's good, it's really good up here. Today's video, the Simond men's padded insulated jacket, I think it's called. Very grand name. Shame they don't call it something cooler than that, but hey ho. It's a bit of a bargain, I think. I'm not going to say cheap because flipping, there's no outdoor kit that's cheap these days, is there? But compared to something it looks very similar to, the well, I'll let you know my thoughts in a second. I'll set up in a spot where there won't be people walking past because I hate talking to the camera when there's people nearby, and I'll chat through the pros and cons and all that kind of stuff. Right, I found a nice secluded spot away from other dog walkers and stuff. I'm sure the boy will make an appearance at some point. He's wandering around over there at the moment. Right though, the Simond jacket. If you've seen it on the Decathlon website or you've come to watch this video to decide whether to buy one or not, the reason you're tempted, let's make no bones about it, is the price. £69.99, so it's £70. That could be seen as an absolute bargain. I'll come on to it in a minute. It weighs 380 grams for a large. I'll compare it to the Patagonia version in a minute. But it's a good jacket. I think it looks smart. People have commented that it looks smart. It's super functional. It's done exactly what I want it to do. And I've been wearing it for over a month now. So, you know, some time, not super long term, but, you know, long enough to form a good opinion, I think. I've worn it on a mix of courses from like mountain leader stuff, where we tend to be plodding around the hills a bit, scrambling courses and like climbing stuff as well. So I've given it a fair bit of use, I reckon. And it's performed really well. Could I tell you the difference between this and the Patagonia one? Yes, but perhaps not in actually the functionality and performance of it. Features wise, 2 hand warmer pockets, decent size, 1 chest pocket, big enough for a phone, that kind of thing, not like a proper full-size map or anything, but you know, it's an okay size. Elasticated there, but not too tight. A 2-way zip. Zip feels okay. I guess it feels on the cheaper side. I don't think it's a YKK thing, if that's the right letters that they often are on nicer items, but it feels just fine. The only downside of the zip, I find the bottom bit comes undone in like an inch or two every now and then. Not problematic, but just mildly annoying every now and then. The sleeve length is good for me. I'm quite tall, 6'3", and I weigh about 76 kilos at the moment. I often struggle with the length of arms, especially when you're climbing and stretching up and stuff, but these sleeves, you know, they're plenty long enough, so I don't notice any negative with that at all. Good hood. It's kind of an under the helmet type, really. As I zip it up, you can see it's quite snug, got a bobble on top there as well. Snug in a nice way, not like super tight, hurt my ears kind of way. If I have a choice, the jacket comes with a hooded version or a non-hooded version, I always choose the hooded version because I feel the cold and I love being wrapped up and stuff like that. One of the pockets doubles as a stuff sack as well, so you put it in there and it's got like a zip on the other side as well, so you can do it up. I never really use that really, I just shove them into the rucksack, to be honest. I find it's like a better use of space in the rucksack. Fills up all those nooks and crannies, and if you want it to stay dry, you're going to put it in like a dry sack type thing anyway, aren't you? Fit-wise, plenty long enough for me. I can't see it being too short for anyone particularly. It's a little bit narrow for me across the shoulders. I'm not like super broad, you know, I train for climbing and stuff, so my shoulders are a half decent size, but just that little bit snug on them, not enough to make me not wear it, or if I was in the market for one of these, I mean I bought one, didn't I, to stop me buying one and using one, but something to be aware of. If you're like super broad, I imagine it's actually probably going to be a bit too tight. I'm wearing a large, by the way. The quality of it, you know, at £70, you're not necessarily going to be expecting proper top level quality. And I guess that does come across slightly in it. The fabric, it's fine. It is like ripstop type stuff, not as in the brand name, but it's got that little grid on it. It's a bit like shiny and scratchy. Not that makes me really dislike it or anything. Like I said, I think it looks okay. And it's not like rustly and horrible to use or anything like that, but you do notice it compared to the Patagonia one, which I'll talk about in a second. But when I've been out and about, it's kept the wind off a similar amount to the Patagonia one. Already subjective, this kind of thing, isn't it? But it's performed as expected, and it's breathed really well as well. You often think with shiny fabrics, it's not quite this shiny, is it? But you think with shiny fabrics, it doesn't look like they're going to breathe as well. But I've been really happy with how well this has breathed. I'll come on to this one again in a second as well. So I've got no complaints in the actual functionality of it, other than that zip coming slightly undone, and the fit is just the fit. Maybe it will suit you perfectly. Doesn't mean much. You have to just try it on, don't you? Price though, £70. That's a good price for a decent bit of kit, and I would class this as a decent bit of kit. Now, the elephant in the room, if you like. I'm not sure that's a fair thing to call it, but the Patagonia Nano Air hoodie. I've had this one years. I really like it. I've worn it a lot. The retail on this these days, £290. That's the retail price. You don't find Decathlon stuff in the sale very often because of the price point. They don't tend to discount stuff that much. You will find these things in the sale though. So £290 retail. I went on the Patagonia website this morning just to double check it. They're on the sale at the moment for £210. So that's quite a saving. You're still getting 3 of these for the price of this. And they're so similar. The hood, pockets, it's got one more chest pocket on the other side. That might matter to you, doesn't really matter to me. Fractionally heavier, 401 grams, so 21 grams heavier for the same size. Large, I wear a large in this one as well. Hasn't got a two-way zip, only a one-way zip. Still got a stuff sack pocket. Hood's real similar. The thing that you can immediately tell, like if you blindfolded me and put one of these on me, the reason I would be able to tell you this is the more expensive item, the Patagonia one, it's the feel of the fabric. It feels nice and soft and just pleasant to touch, really. But it does bobble up. You'll see, like, probably on the camera under the badge and stuff, and on the arms, where your arms are even on a table and stuff, or scrabbling around on the rock, they do bobble up. So whenever you say to someone, what do you think of your Nano Air, they say, I really like it, but it does bobble up quickly. Do you care about that? Maybe not. I kind of like the worn look, but just to be aware of it, really. It is a real soft, nice material. These are great to use. I love mine. I wear it in those, like, when you're being relatively active, so like say plodding up a hill, so you can unzip them. They haven't got pit zips or whatever, but you can unzip them. But they just breathe really well, both of these. I wouldn't want to wear it on that windy day when you're standing around without something on top, because the wind does go through them. That's partly why they're breathable, and that, isn't it? Sorry, the dog's tail appeared over the rock, distracted me. But £290 retail, $210 in the sale. It's still a shed load of money, isn't it? So why would you buy the Patagonia one? Everyone loves the badge, don't they? Patagonia, we think of it as a quality thing. Even the badge looks nice, doesn't it? That kind of mountainscape there. What you're paying for with this is a few things, I think, right? One, it's recycled fabric. The outer on this one, 100% recycled. The insulation, 93% recycled. I guess that will go to 100% too at some point, because this is 100% recycled in total. I couldn't find anything on the Decathlon website that makes mention of this being at all recycled. I know some of their stuff is, maybe it will be in the future, but I couldn't find anything having a quick look through this morning. It's a fair trade company. It's 1% for the planet. They pay fair wages. Another big appeal is that they'll repair stuff for free for the life of the item. So, if you think full retail is 4 of these jackets, will this last 4 times as long? Not as it is, I don't think, but with it being repaired, then yeah, maybe it will. So it almost is an item for life, isn't it? And that's what you're paying for, really. When I was a young instructor, I did not have £290 to buy something like this, no chance. So I would have either bought one of these, like second hand or something, or one of these for a lot less money. I didn't have the choice, and some of you watching won't have the choice. I do kind of struggle a bit, just like in my mind, that if there is a sort of a more ethical version of something to buy, and I've got enough to buy it, then I feel like I should, invest in something like this. But that's a luxury position to be in, isn't it? That's a privileged position to be in, for sure it is. So there's no judgments at all when I see people wearing flipping Simmons stuff or something like that. But that's what you're paying for, really, because in terms of the quality of the items, they're just not that far apart, right? I've read some reviews of this on the Decathlon site. There's loads of them on there, and there was one jumped out at me, partly because it was in Spanish. It was mala calidad, which means poor quality, bad quality. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say it's less quality, but of course it's going to be less quality than this thing. I think it's for £70. I think it's it's better than I would expect, in all honesty, when you're comparing it to the other things. That's the kind of thing that I can't answer for you, whether you'll think it's good value and quality and stuff like that, for what it is. But I can tell you it's performed well, and it probably exceeded, if anything, my expectations. We've got this thing. The thing I kind of live in a lot, I've got a couple of different versions of these ones, but this is the Micro Puff. I always get their names mixed up because they're similar but different. And this is that shiny material. It's lighter. It comes in at just under 300 grams. It's a fraction cheaper at 270 retail. Breathes a bit less, keeps the wind off a bit more. Similar hood. They've got no chest pocket on this one. I live in these things because it's always flipping windy up here, so sometimes I do like to keep the wind out. But I must admit, almost making myself wear these two a bit more, as maybe want to wear these a bit more on certain days, especially those plodding up a hill kind of days. I think I've talked about all the features and stuff that I should have done. Like I say, is it better to spend 70 quid or 290 quid, or a bit off in the sale? It's a personal choice, isn't it? But it's been a really good item. I've had a few bits from Decathlon over the years, and I shall buy some more. I've got some trousers to review, some like waterproof trousers, and a different pair of gloves to the ones I usually wear from Simmons as well. So they'll come to the channel in due course. But if you've got questions, chuck them in the comments below. Happy to answer as best I can. You know the score, though. It takes me a while to get around to answering them sometimes. And anything else, chuck them down below as well. If you like the video, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, follow us on Insta, give us a follow there. Use the Buy Me a Coffee link to support the channel. All the support continues to blow my mind. I'm massively appreciative of it. As always, though, massive thanks for watching. More videos coming up very soon.